Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about CSS animation properties. Now CSS animations, they do exactly what the name suggests. They are going to animate CSS boxes or HTML elements. Now we're going to take a look at one box in particular, and that is going to be a div. I'm not going to do anything in HTML, so let's move on to CSS. Now what I'm asking you is to just just go ahead and ignore these properties that I'm trying to write here, because in like a few lectures we are going to get to flexbox, and then we are going to get to grid, and I'm going to tell you what they are. We're going to talk about them from the ground up, and you're going to master them. So for now, just ignore display flags, justify content. These are alignment properties. So I guess you could keep that in mind for now. So this is going to be center and center. I'm going to provide it with a height of 100 VH. Because there is no content, the height of the body is shrunk to 0. The white space that you're seeing in the web page, that is the HTML document. That is not the body. And I'm going to grab and make the margin 0. So let's come down here and let's grab our div. I'm going to give it a height of 350 pixels, a width of 350 pixels. Now what this display flex does, along with justify and align items, it's going to center our item it's going to place it within the center of the page. And for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide it with a background color so we can see where our box is actually located. Now, when it comes to animations, there are quite a few property values. We have animation name, animation duration, animation timing function. Animation duration and timing function, they work in the same way as for transition duration and transition timing function. We also have animation delay, which is the same as, the concept is the same as transition delay. And we have animation iteration count, which transition doesn't have. So what is the difference between animations and transitions? This is also another common question. Now, transitions are also animations. Don't mistake them for anything else. Transitions are animations, animations are animations. So both of them belong to one category, and that is animating stuff on the web. But the difference is that transitions, they only animate two states, a starting state and an ending state. But when it comes to CSS animations, they can animate more than two states. Technically and virtually, you can animate 1,000 states, 100 states, 10,000, or even like infinity number of states. Technically, you could do that. It's not good for website performance. The website is going to load very, very slow, but that is something you could do. So this is the main difference between animations and transitions. Animations, they have different states. Transitions, they only have two states, the on state and the off state. Think of it like that, 0 and 1. So when you are working with animations, the first thing you need to do is you need to specify your animation name. So I'm going to say color switcher. This is the name of the animation. The second is you need to provide this animation duration. Now in our projects, we are going to use a shorthand, and that is going to be animation property. The animation property, just one word, animation, that's it. It accepts values in this order that I'm writing them here. So it first accepts the name, and then it accepts a duration, as with the transition that you saw. Like transition was a shorthand property. It accepted which values, all, and then duration, and then timing function, and then delay. So duration is going to be 5 seconds. Animation timing function, we could use a cubic Bezier function. And I'm going to use my favorite, which is 1001. These work the same as with transition. So that's why I'm not explaining them a lot. Then we have animation delay, which I'm going to set it to 0 seconds for now. And animation iteration count, what this does, animation, where is animation iteration count? Come on, buddy. Oh boy, animation iteration count. How many times the animation has to be repeated? I'm going to set it to 3. So let's save that. Now we have created our animation. Now you need to create keyframes. How many frames do you want to have in your animation? This is the difference between animation and transition. So far, all of these properties, they look like transitions. They don't like animations. At keyframes is what differentiates animations from transitions. So keyframes provides it works in the same way as a video has like 30 frames per second. Like these videos, they have almost 29, 30 frames per second. Like in 1 second, there are 30 pictures being taken from the screen of my computer. The same idea works with animations. It has to be the same idea, otherwise it's not animations. So if you provide 10 keyframes, it means your animation is going to have 10 frames. If you provide 20 keyframes, it's going to have 20 frames. That's what actually happens here. Now, after that, you need to provide it, after writing keyframes, you need to provide it with the name of your animation. Because practically you're going to have more than one animation per page. Again, these are for aesthetic purposes. These don't have anything to do with the content, how do I say this? With the actual quality of the content. They make the They make the content look better and feel better, so the users, they like actually what they're interacting with. So this is going to take very long, and I'm going to copy paste it a lot. So at the 0%, I want to change the background color to this color. This is the color. And then at 10%, so you can see that this is the second stage. When the animation is at 0%, I want it to have that background color. When it is at 10%, I want it to have this background color, FF, and so far and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of these and I'm going to provide them, and I'm going to explain that. There we go. So at 0% of the animation, I want this color. This is state 1. This is state 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11. So this animation, it has 11 different states, as opposed to transitions, which only had 2 states. When I save this, you're going to see the colors being transitioned on the screen. And it will happen 3 times. 3 times the animation is going to start and end. And after the 3rd time, the animation is going to stop. See? The colors are being transitioned. So this is 1 iteration count, 2 iteration counts, and the 3rd count. There we go. So we are back to this. So animation happens 3 times. There is also another cool keyword that you can provide here, that is infinite. The animation is going to happen infinitely. Sometimes you might have seen some websites when you go to those websites, there are some animations that are constantly going on, constantly. Keep in mind to keep these kinds of animations to a very, very minimum. These are going to make your website load very slow if you use them a lot. Now, there are certain properties in CSS that work very well, which are very performant and work very well with animations. One of those properties is colors, and the other one is transforms. So keep in mind, sorry, not colors. Yeah, it is colors, yeah. So colors and transforms, these are the 2 most performant properties when it comes to CSS animations. You're not going to lose that much in website performance if you use only these 2, but the more you incorporate different kinds of animations, the slower your website is going to load. That's it for this lecture. See you in the next one.